Okay, guys, so I'll be moving on to the next part, which is the cash flow analysis and basically finding out the projected cash flow. So I'll go to chapter 12. I'll share my screen and I'll show you the PDF first. So you can see in the textbook that Sir had given, he has already, like, there are few solved illustrations. I think there are 4 or 5 solved illustrations. You can go through those to get an idea of the questions, because these are already solved. I'm not going through these because I think by seeing the solutions you can kind of understand the question. So basically, the just to explain the process of solving the sums, every sum has an investment outlay, and this part is important because tomorrow I think one big question should come from this projected cash flow. Okay, so the first part of the question is the investment outlay, which is the investment made in year 1. So year 0, in fact. So this is the first part of the question. So what Sir does is he does this in a separate sheet, but you can also do it in the same sheet. I generally prefer to do it in the same sheet because it's on one sheet and it's easier to calculate everything, and you might forget later to add that back. So to calculate this, so there's firstly the investment outlay, which is your investment in year 1. Then is the operating inflows. So basically the operating cash flows from the operation of that project. So this generally starts from year 1 to year 5, year 10, whatever it is. This is the second part. And then there's terminal cash flow, which is the salvage value of the machine. So when you sell that machine, whatever money you get, and then that comes to net cash flow, and then that net cash flow is basically you put a present value factor on that and equate it with the outflow, and that inflow and outflow will give you the NPV. So this is the entire crux of the sum. Now you can refer to these sums, so you can see that this illustration is given over here and then the solution is given over here. So because these are already solved, I'm not doing this again. I'll just solve these unsolved sums at the end. So this is also a solved problem that is there. I would suggest going through this, because if you're not sure, you can go through these sums. This will give you a rough idea of how to solve this. Okay. So I'll start with sum number 12.1. Okay. Again, let me give you a little bit of screenshot if you want. Okay, so you can take the screenshot of this question and then we'll start. So basically it's saying that Futura Limited is considering a capital project about which information is given. Investment outlay will be 200 million. So initially 200 million is going. Is consider 150 on the plant, 50 on the net working capital. Entire outlay will be incurred in the beginning. Okay, so let's write this part first. And its life of the project is 7 years. Okay, so we have to make a table from 0 to 7. So let me make a new Excel sheet. Okay, so let's get started. So firstly is, let's take year 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what is my first heading? So first heading is initial investment. Then is my project cash flows. Lastly will be my terminal cash flow. Right now I don't know how many lines I will need, so that's why I'm keeping a lot of space. Later we can delete that lines. So firstly, what I have been told over here is investment is 150 million on plant and machinery and 50 million on net working capital. Okay, so let's come here. So plant and machinery what I generally do is I just select all the things and I make it into a accounting format so that I get a decimal figure. Okay, so it's 150. So I'm taking it in million because otherwise there will be a lot of zeros and all the figures given are in million. So it will be easier. 150 million on plant and machinery and 50 million on working capital. Again, with plant and machinery, you have to make sure the depreciation is there. So net working capital. In fact, what you can do is put it as minus 50. So that way you're already accounting for the cash flow. So it's outflow, so negative. 7 years is the life of the project. At the end of the 7 years, fixed asset will fetch a net salvage value of 48 million. Okay, so I know terminal value salvage of plant of machinery would be at the end of 7 years. Let me just reduce a few rows. Salvage value at the 7 years is, I'll just right here in the 7th column is 48 million. Whereas net working will be liquidated at book value. Again, liquidated at book value means at the same rate of whatever. So this is 48 million and this is 50. So whatever is the book value, I'll liquidate it at recovery of working capital. Okay. Now, because there is salvage value, when you calculate depreciation, what will be the depreciation? 150 million minus 48 million divided by 7. The project is expected to increase the revenue of the firm by 250 million. Again, it's the incremental revenue that will take in this case. So in this case, it's increasing by 250. If this question was that earlier it was 200 million and now it's 450 million, I would have taken the incremental amount of because of this project, because that is my relevant cash flow for this project. So 250 million per year. So here I'll take revenue. So revenue is, so again this will be in the year, I'm assuming it's starting from year 1. Let me just check the increase in cost. They're not said. Okay, so increase in revenue from 250 million per year. So 250 million every year. In fact, I think this would be, I can do it with increase cost on account of the project is 100 million per year. Cost of project. You can write, in fact, you can write incremental revenue, incremental cost of project minus 100, right? Then this includes the cost of debt and other than depreciation, interest and taxes. So other than interest, depreciation, taxes. Now I have to calculate depreciation also. So depreciation. So as I told you, depreciation is basically 150 minus 48 divided by 7 equal to 150 minus 48 divided by 7. I'll just put that in bracket. So 28.29. So you can either calculate using calculator and then put it there. You can see the total is coming to 198, which, oh sorry, I did a mistake. It's basically 150 was put in negative. No? So you can just write plus. I hope you get the date. Basically, what happened was in this case, so it's 150. So it's a negative thing. So it's a equal to 150 minus 48. So it's 102 divided by 7. Put a negative sign on in front. and then copy to the right, Control R. So this is the depreciation. You can see the total is 102, which I want. So now I calculate funding before interest taxes, alt equal to calculate sum, right? Now I calculate interest. Is there any interest? I don't know. Tax rate is given 30%. Plant and machinery will depreciate at 25%. Sorry. It's saying will be depreciated at the rate of 25% as per written down value. Okay. As per written down value means, okay, so I wasted time on depreciation. So read the question when you're doing it. Equal to, you can either add a working note, do it that way. Otherwise, it's basically equal to plant and machinery minus, so into 25% is the depreciation. Then again, this one equal to 150 minus this one into 25%. And so on. So if you calculate like that, I would add a working note, it will be easier. So opening machinery, depreciation, closing machinery. So it's 150 over here equal to theta into 25% equal to this minus this, and this one is equal to this. And I control right. So now you can just drag this to the right. Okay. So that is your depreciation calculation as per W2B method. So make sure you read the question properly. And now for depreciation, you can directly use this one. So equal to minus this. So whenever there is a confusion, you can just use it, use a working note. So that way it will be a lot clearer. Okay. Plant and machinery depreciation 25% written down value method. Okay. Estimate the post-tax cash flow project and calculate the IRR of the project. Okay. So I've done everything. I just need the tax rate minus taxes. So tax rate is given as 30% equal to this into 30%. Again, I'll just put this in negative. So control right, funding before taxes, sorry, funding after taxes. So you can basically write this as funding before tax because there's no interest, and earning after tax. Funding after tax equal to this plus this. So this is my earning after taxes. Now to calculate the cash flow, I will add back my depreciation plus depreciation plus depreciation. Depreciation. I'll add back my depreciation over here. Now this will give me the cash, the operating cash flow. Now in this case, the working capital, there was no change in the working capital. So the initial working capital and the working capital during the year was the same. So there's no difference in the working capital. So that's why that has not been considered. Now this is my terminal cash flow. So my total cash flow. So this is my total cash flow, so equal to sum of all these values, control right, bold. So these are my cash flows. Estimated post-tax cash flow for the project. This is my post-tax cash flow. Now calculate the IRR of the project. Now to calculate the IRR of the project, I also have to take the initial cash outlay. So initial cash outlay was equal to sum of all these. Let's do this. So you can see I'm investing 200 million in the initial stage, and I'm getting these. Now my IRR of the project will be IRR equal to IRR and this. So 55% is the IRR of the project. Okay. So one second, I'll just check the sum. Yeah. So that's the sum. I'll move to the next sum. So I'll stop the recording here and I'll move to the next. I hope you understood the process. I'll share the Excel sheet anyways. So in the meantime, you can try it on your own once and you can refer to the Excel sheet.